And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem of Crypto, episode 679. Yesterday was episode 678. So if you're listening to us on our podcast, I did say that episode number twice, 2 days straight. Today is Thursday, March 11, 2021, and the top stories of the day are Chinese banks pilot digital yuan at Shanghai department stores. Peter Schiff's son moves 100% of his portfolio into Bitcoin. Crypto lender BlockFi raises $350 million at a $3 billion valuation. And last but not least, U.S. luxury hotel brand to begin accepting Bitcoin payments and more. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at those Bitcoin prices. Bitcoin Zay.
Oh yeah, so let's take a look at coin market cap today. Bitcoin is at $57,037, just shifted on me to 56,963, up 1.7%. Ethereum at 1,809 is down 1.3%. Binance crossed over the 300 mark briefly, but back down to 295.96, up 3.8%. Cardano at $1.12 is down 4% today. Polkadot at 37.15 is down 4.4%. Ripple at 45 cents, down 3%. Uniswap at 31.18 just entered the top 10, but down 2.5%. Litecoin at $201 is down 0.4%. And last but not least, Chainlink at 29.56 is down 3.4%. So Bitcoin and Binance seem to be the only ones pushing green today. Everything else is looking red. This is not something that's surprising. Again, people, we're going sideways. You're not really catching any breakouts on a lot of these coins. If you didn't catch it before, just accumulate and hold.
There we go. What's going on? Notes from Jew. That's right. Another day to learn, do your own research, and be great. What's up, Antonio, Leroy Forrest, Minho Donahue, Know What, Phil G, Fumble the Face, Sergeant Mac, Marcus Howell, Helen, Diva Style, Alfonso Clark, Prophet Shamir, P-Man Van, Fumble the Face, Less Square, The Sugar Honey Iced Tea. It's a cool name, like that name. Fanteezy, 731, Lisa Lee, Dylan Darchenfield, Joshua Richardson, Tessa Hall, Crypto Culture, Jason, Caitlin, Blues Lover, Latosha Ray, and everyone else. Make sure you smash that like and share. Thank you for joining us. What's going on? Dexter Hans Senior, Nicholas Orion, Timothy Grigsby, Somo Vid, Wendy Nichols. Everybody's in the house this morning. All right. Top story of the day. Chinese banks are in the news. That is right. Chinese banks pilot digital yuan at Shanghai department stores. It's like the Bank of Communications and China Construction Bank conducted digital yuan trials at two major department stores in Shanghai. This is happening. This is happening. This is happening. And I'm pretty sure the United States are paying attention to figure out how it happens and how we can duplicate it. What's going on with this story?
Oh man, you know how they do it. Whenever you wanted to bribe somebody, give them some free money, give them an early taste, and then try to reel them in. It looks like that's what's going on here. The Bank of Communications and China Construction Bank conducted two digital yuan trials. One department store was Shanghai's New World City, and the other was New World Daimaru Department Store, and food caterer Taiking Food Store, handling thousands of digital yuan transactions over the past weekend. As part of the trial, the retailers featured digital yuan payments as part of a sales campaign in conjunction with International Women's Day. They pulled out all the stops. They stated here the major Chinese banks, including the Bank of Communications and China Construction, they participated in the trial by providing them with virtual coupons. There you go. First taste is free. Specifically, the Bank of Communications gave 100 yuan, $15 to coupons, to 6,500 local shoppers, while China Construction gave 150 yuan, which is $23, to 2,000 individuals whenever they purchased a lot. So again, to pull people into the CBDC world, you won't really have a choice. The yuan is out. They're using it. Everything we talked about in 2018 is coming true now, people. And I can tell you that a few years from now, this will be built out all the way. This is just the beginning. So whenever you hear 2023, whenever we doing the show, you're going to be like, oh, man, I remember when digital yuan was first in the department stores because everybody will be using it. So shout out to China getting out before the U.S. Simply because, like you said, they're going to learn from China with what they do.
I mean, at this rate, and I think, of course, the price of Bitcoin is being reflected by that stimulus package that came out. People are expecting that bullish sentiment. But at this rate, yeah, it's literally going. The flipping is happening in front of us, people. Bitcoin's at almost $60,000. When Bitcoin is at $300,000, $400,000 in a couple of years, like you said, people are also going to be like, Oh wow, it cost me 100,000 CBDCs, digital dollars, to buy this thing of milk. I wish I just would have bought that 100,000 satoshis for $100 when I could have. Like,
Yeah.
it is happening right in front of us. So that is crazy to see. It's not just in China. China is actually rolling it out, but we saw today that Bank of Russia is actually going to start trialing their digital ruble as well. So that's two of the top, world powers out there that are moving forward with this testing. And again, the United States is talking about, the SEC or CFTC getting together, the IRS, putting their foot down, and Letitia James and New York AG doing all this other stuff. But none of them are actually talking about crypto. They're not talking about CBDCs. They're not talking about the state of Bitcoin. They are ignoring the entire crypto landscape, which again makes this whole everything they're doing a mockery, because like, you all not even talking about it. Like, China is at least coming forward, like, yeah, not only are we doing a CBDC, and you said they mentioned Women's International Day, aren't they only allowed to have like 1 or 2 kids? So happy International Day, woman over there.
Happy Women's Day.
But hey, I don't want no big China. China Joe over here, Bron James. You know what I mean? We know we're the total party line.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it's just one of those things where it's at least China's actually moving forward with it. Russia's talking about it. They've been talking about it for years. And we know that we're actually working on it, because again, in the first stimulus bill from last year, they said they should give the money back, the pandemic relief back, in a digital wallet. It didn't happen, but the fact that they had that literature in the bill shows us that they already have talked about it privately. For whatever reason, public officials just haven't talked about this publicly, which is what I'm waiting to see.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they got some of those ideas from the letter I sent them a few months before they put that out, because I don't think they ever heard of airdrop or digital wallets before that. But then they come out with this report, and then they're like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah, thanks a lot, Bitcoins. That we trying to leave classes. They like, "Oh, did you get the homework today or not?" No. One thing I also want to point out too, when it comes to price, people, let's talk about Bitcoin prices. We're talking it. This time last year, we have the year chart in from the pandemic. We know how Bitcoin will react in the pandemic. It goes up. And if you remember, around this time last year, isn't this when the first stimulus and pandemic relief checks went out?
Yep.
For whatever they were, for 600 or something bucks, $700. Those checks went out last year. Around this time, if you would have bought Bitcoin with that stimulus check, I think it would be at what, like $10,000 or some change today.
Yeah. It was $1,200 stimulus. You would have 10,000 a day if you just bought Bitcoin and waited, did nothing, just bought it and sat there.
So was it a $1,200 stimulus?
$1,200 stimulus, you would have 10,000 today.
And now it's a $1,400 stimulus that's supposed to be coming down the pike. 3,000 for some people, tax credits for others, all types of stuff. So my point is, if this same 1,400 or this 1,400 comes out now, we had 1,200 the first time. Let's see what that 1,400 will look like in 1 year. I mean, are you really going to be crazy enough to not put it into Bitcoin? If you get that money, the only thing you should be doing besides putting it into Bitcoin is paying off debt if you wanted to do that. But literally anywhere else parking that money after this last year would not make sense to me, especially if you're watching this right now. And we're not the only people who think that. It looks like Peter Schiff, the gold bug, his son also believes that, as he moves 100% of his portfolio into Bitcoin. That is right. Peter Schiff has come out. Listen, gang, people. That what I tell you the other day, when your kids get involved, we really gonna make you make a decision. And Peter Schiff has made his decision. He's towing the party line. He said, my son is brainwashed for his 100% Bitcoin portfolio. He said, I'm not going with my kid on this one. I am staying strong to the party line. Gold is in the fold, and my son has lost his mind. What's going on with Peter Schiff and his son here with his Bitcoin buys?
Oh yeah. Well, as I sip my drink that I'm sure somebody spit in, I would just like to say that Peter Schiff has to be at his wit's end at this point, because there's no way that you can hate Bitcoin this much and then have your son rebel against it and not feel some sort of way. This is great to see his son, Spencer Schiff. He went all in on Bitcoin on the last drop below 50K. 100% of his portfolio is now in Bitcoin. And of course, he states, if my own son is this brainwashed, imagine how vulnerable most kids are. He's holding to infinity or bust. This is what people are really scared of. The fact that I read a tweet today. There was a kid who was 18. He was like, Yeah, I didn't get my first bank account till last month, but I had my first crypto wallet at 11. That's what we're seeing here, is that kids are starting in crypto, and then you think they're gonna go backwards into a bank? Highly doubt it. And I'm sure that Peter Schiff, being so young, for him, this will pan out way better than selling gold or trying to get people to buy gold. And I love the fact that the kids, Bitcoin is not ageist. It doesn't discriminate. A kid can have just as much crypto as you if they know what they're doing. And the fact that he is using that to put it into Bitcoin is great to see. I'm sure he'll be a great example for other teenagers who want to get into the space. Shout out to Spencer Schiff. We should get him on the show, interview him, just to see,
Hey,
just to see where his mind's at.
Publicly, no, no, but what's crazy and it's pretty funny about this story. Like you pointed this out many times before. This article almost alludes to it as well. At this point, Peter Schiff is just being funny. If he doesn't have any Bitcoin himself, he has Bitcoin through proxy of his kid, which is who he probably told, "Hey, yo, forget all that. Your dad got the silver play already. I need you to be on this crypto play." Because essentially, like, he's propping his son up. He's turning his son into the next Peter Schiff, but for crypto. So he can stay in the gold market. He doesn't need to break away. I hate all you Bitcoin people. We throw hate back at him. But at the same time, the volume of eyes that he continues to get, because he's the guy who's going to stand on gold side. He's going to fight for gold. He's going to hate crypto. He continues to get that attention. And again, it's been in good fun and jest. He goes on people's shows. So it's not like he's even hiding. I remember on Facebook at one point, I think it was sometime last year, he literally was called, hey, he was like, pull up on me. He was calling up. And it was hilarious to me to see all these, this boomer generation let their thing hang. So I was happy to see that personally. But seriously, I think he just set up his son for his career. He set up his son to be the exact thing that he is, but for crypto. And he's giving his son the blueprint. Like, hey, in another 40 years, when you got kids, if the next thing is space coins or space rocks, hey, you go against it, put your son on the space rocks. This train continues. So I think he's just really working with his kid on this one. This is a partnership they're doing. But it is funny to see this, seriously, because this does say something across the space from the narrative standpoint, from the fundamental standpoint, that, again, the youth are getting involved, like you said, before they even get bank accounts. So,
oh man, the real revolution is gonna come from the kids. But when they have more money than their parents, imagine talking to, because I helped a 15-year-old buy Bitcoin and he paid his way through college like a few years ago. Imagine that. Imagine being 15, having crypto, and then you have more money than your parents in like 2 or 3 years, and they're like trying to tell you rules. That's gonna, because it used to be sports teams that divide families. Now it's gonna be Bitcoin. So yeah, funny to see.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember when I started really working my first job at 15. It's like, oh, that was it. Like, I get my own little paper. Can't tell me nothing. So, and not only that, but that's why I was saying when we did, I forgot which show we were on, we did the talk, and I was like, I can't wait. It was the Tammy Mack show. The last time we did Tammy Mack on March 2nd. I was like, I can't wait until these college kids really start grasping what's going on. I can't wait until we start giving these college sponsorships because, like, again, once the youth is all the way on board and they have their own resources, their own money, and they're going to be making their own decisions. It's going to be the Mark Zuckerbergs wearing hoodies, house shoes. I don't have to shake your hand. I don't got to say good morning to you. Look to me, and if you want to do business with me.
I'll say everybody going to be walking around with Uggs, baby.
Man,
nobody gonna be wearing real clothes in like 10 years.
What are you doing? This man, he get a baby and all this. Look, boy.
Hey, you get Bitcoin, you get rid of real clothes. I sold all my clothes.
Boy. What's Uggs, man? I'm gonna send you a thing of Tim's this weekend. Something. What's going on? Let's see. My Ninja said Schiff costs his clients millions. KB NYC said, where does they come up with these sayings? Yeah, Mama Ayo says Schiff been playing a role. What's going on, Carolyn Malachi? Old habits die hard. CoinHawk Crypto said the selling attention, of course. Joshua Richardson, Peter playing everybody. That fool got dumb bags to Bitcoin. Yeah, other people's Dolphin Crypto said this is a gimmick. Yeah, man. Is it to the point now we all know better? It's like he is literally playing the game.
Oh yeah.
So we know how this goes.
And did you just call out Carolyn Malachi's name?
Yeah.
Oh, Carolyn. Oh, we got to say it right. Yeah. Grammy nominated Carolyn Malachi. How you doing? What's going on, Carolyn?
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out Carolyn Malachi. She's a professor.
I was going to say something publicly. It had it was highlighted with the check. So I was like, somebody, y'all listen. You know, I'm not on social media enough.
She's a professor at Howard. She can do exactly what we're talking about with HBCU. So yeah.
Boom. There we go. There we go. Hey, thank you. Listen, they are in the comment section. They agree with me on this one. What are you doing, Zay? Says KBNYC. LOL King. Send him those Tims. Look, Josh Allen, not the Uggs. It's Carmelo. All right, Carmelo, you're right. Carmelo Sharubin said, "Don't mess with Tims. Do the history." You're right. I don't mess with Tims. I was thinking about some other boot names in my head. I couldn't think of it. Look, I'm gonna send you some Chelsea boots from Aldo or something real quick from Zara, man. How about that? Send you
I
some
don't want
nice
them.
Chelsea boots. have you
Hey,
looking like have you looking like Prince in the morning over there?
hey, when you see me at the conferences with Uggs, don't be surprised. That's all I gotta say. I'm comfortable.
Somebody said Crocs. JC Reddick the third said get the Crocs. Here we go. Yeah, and yes, Carmelo. Something we got to keep saying now for sure. Not me, I'm not big enough, but Bitcoin Zay has been getting duplicated as well as our channel. So if you see our channel or Bitcoin Zay asking you any crazy thing on Twitter, Instagram, or on YouTube, don't believe it. You all see our personalities. We're not asking y'all for money. We're not asking for the Bitcoin we gave you back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if somebody's telling you to send them $10 so we can send you back 50, that is not us. All right.
Not us at all.
And real quick before we get back, Wendy Nichols said, "I'm a boomer, but my head is millennial. I'm trying to teach some of the millennials I know to stop being brainwashed by their boomer parents." There we go. Listen, I'm a millennial and I try to keep my head Gen Z because I'm like, look, y'all better stop getting mad at them before it get too late. You know what I mean? I heard they talking about side parts and everything. They're not attacking our side of the generation. They're attacking the other side, but we know what's up. They'll come for us all. We let them. Wendy Nichols, thank you for the tip. All right. Crypto lender BlockFi raises $350 million at a $3 billion valuation. That is right. The next phase of cryptocurrency is almost upon us, and that is the buyeth of the beggeth phase, people. Continue to hold doth coins. It is not over yet. As we saw when Circle was overbought for 300 million, when they bought Poloniex, we see already Coinbase at 100 billion valuation is going to go down that same path, and it looks like BlockFi is up next. Again, good things happening, good things to see for the crypto space, because by proxy of companies not wanting to buy Bitcoin or using this, I think the reason why companies are actually investing in some of these IPOs is so they can be included in that debt basket of products that JP Morgan is offering to expose you to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency while exposing you to it by third-party companies. I think there'll be a company to look at if they were to go public, and this is one of the reasons why their valuation is so high. But tell us about what's going on here.
Oh, yeah. So BlockFi currently has $10 billion in outstanding loans, $15 billion in total assets, and has been operating profitably for several months. This is from BlockFi CEO Zach Prince. The latest injection of capital will go toward doubling BlockFi's 500-person team by the end of 2021. They're launching a Bitcoin rewards credit card. If you go to their website, you can see them start to advertise it at the top coming next quarter. And they're expanding the focus of their retail products to make markets outside of the US. So this is a unicorn company, billion-dollar company, that startup that came, I think, 5 years ago, if that. So definitely a unicorn company to get a $3 billion valuation at this point. And shout out to BlockFi for providing these services. You do have to make sure, because if you use the service, you're handing your Bitcoin to them to earn interest. So you have to know the risk. However, as far as getting loans on your Bitcoin, using it as collateral, that's huge, people, because there's other companies that do it, but BlockFi is the biggest. And if you can never sell your Bitcoin, but still operate, that's huge. Like there's going to be no sellers at some point. There's be people with Bitcoin taking out loans, cash loans to live their life, and then paying it back later, and then just keeping their Bitcoin for years. So shout out to BlockFi, and I'm sure that this is not the last funding round. So this is a Series D, but I mean, if you look at the people who are investing, they're not going anywhere. I mean, just Castle Island Funds, Venture Collective. I mean, it's a lot of big names in here, Digital Currency Group. So good for BlockFi.
Yeah, and speaking of that selling point, I think we'll see, I won't say maybe major sell-offs where the market reacts, but I think the two next big times where you will see a lot of selling pressure, I will at least say, is once Bitcoin, I think, crosses over the 120K mark, probably 120K. 100 would be exciting enough, to where people will want to stay in the market. But I think once you pass the $120,000 mark per Bitcoin, A lot of people do not have $120,000 debt. Some people got 20,000 from school, 10, 20,000 auto loan. Hell, you might have, a few hundred thousand, possibly a million, in your whatever your housing mortgage, your mortgage loan or whatever. But by and large, outside of houses, people don't have $100,000 worth of debt. And I make that point because once it crosses 120K, there will be a good amount of people, I think, who will go in that one big time and say, all right, let me take out this 30,000 to pay off my student debt. Let me take off this 10,000 to do. Let me take out this 15,000 and move here and change my life. I think we will see that happen one good time, and then the selling will stop for real.
Yeah.
Until it hits about the $400,000 to $500,000 mark, where people will say, let me put a down payment on the house. They'll do that one more big move, but those will be the only two moves. It'll be to pay off some type of crazy debt or something short-term move. And then once the price is even higher, it's to buy that next big purchase, whether I'm gonna get my Lambo, my house, or whatever. But my point is, we are entering a phase where, with the exception of those two events and those two price point predictions for me, I don't see any selling happening. Yeah. Because after 500,000, what else once it hits 700,000, what couldn't you get at 300,000? You know what I mean? Like there really isn't going to be a point to sell at 700,000. You're not selling at 300,000. And again, after you get your big buy, it's like, what else do you want right now? Most people in this space are in this space because of their financial literacy. They've seen what happens to the previous financial markets, and they know if they go Lambo and house crazy and use up all their Bitcoin, or something in the market happens where they don't have it anymore, they back to square one. So I think, like you said, the piggyback, the holding will get even crazier. It will be even stronger after we pass the $120,000 mark, when people pay back debt. And then again, after the $300,000 to $400,000 mark, when people make that big purchase. But other than that, why would you sell?
Yeah, like at some point, it's not going to make sense to sell unless unless you are really, really into something. But yeah, no point.
All right. Last but definitely a great news story: U.S. luxury hotel brand to begin accepting Bitcoin payments. That is right. Bitcoin penetration in the hospitality industry is set for another expansion as a U.S. luxury hotel chain adopts cryptocurrency as a payment option. This is pretty cool to see. The Kessler Collection, an American luxury hotel brand, has begun accepting Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a payment option. According to a press release on Tuesday, the hotel chain has partnered with crypto payment gateway service BitPay, of course, to begin accepting Bitcoin. And this is something that we've spoken about in the past, when they keep saying all of a sudden we're accepting Dogecoin or accepting this coin or that coin. Other cryptos adopted include Ether, Dogecoin, as well as 4 stable coins. But what I want to point out is when you're using BitPay, you can pretty much accept every cryptocurrency out there. So they're only including certain ones. That literally means they just went to the little ticker and click which ones they would accept and which ones they wouldn't. And these are some of the ones they clicked on, but they have the ability to accept everything out there. But I think this is a great news story because, if luxury hotels start accepting it, you get credit card companies that work with these luxury hotels, like, American Express Platinum and Black Card. They'll start accepting it and do things with it. I don't know. What are your thoughts here?
Oh, yeah. And this solves a big problem that I don't think a lot of people understand, is that when you have an international company, Fravy Collazo, he actually stated here, adopting crypto payments will help reduce the Forex burden on international guests. Meaning, as he states here, this is one of the most innovative concepts in the hospitality industry right now. I believe cryptocurrency is only going to gain acceptance, and partnering with BitPay allows us to offer more choices in the payment process. So if you're somebody who travels a lot, like myself, not internationally so much, but if you travel internationally, the exchange of money into different currencies is awful. I mean, they take 18%. You got to switch once you get there. Cryptocurrencies, none of that. If you're going to get a hotel in Dubai, or if you're going to get one in the US, or you're going to get one in China, it doesn't matter. Wherever you are, if you pay with cryptocurrencies, you can use that currency. And I think as we move towards digital CBDCs, cryptocurrencies will be right beside it. And some people would rather pay with that because they don't have to use a certain CBDC from a certain country, because we'll just be repeating it, the same process digitally, trying to exchange it. So I think crypto is great for this industry. And again, international companies, I've talked to a few in Africa, that when they do business overseas, instead of having to convert it, send it, and then they convert it and send it, they just use crypto. That's it. And then they just sell it if they have to, or use it later. So shout out to the Kessler Collection.
There we go. See some quick comments. Tessa said, I saw an article today stating that Coinbase is supposed to be creating its own coin. Wouldn't surprise me. Again, might guess the company wrong, but I think we're guessing the game play right. And I think the game plan right now, again, is to either acquire one of these companies like Coinbase or Gemini, possibly Grayscale, a company large enough to where they already have a large reserve of Bitcoin, and then literally just turn them into the Federal Reserve or absolve them into the Federal Reserve. So I'm not sure if Coinbase is going to create its own coin. It would make sense to me, but again, that would kind of be like Facebook creating their own coin too. And I don't think gang like any of that happening.
Yeah, nah, not at all.
What's going on? Crazy BX Don just made it in. Jao Bo said, I'm convinced, but where do I buy Bitcoin with cash or debit card? You can do it with debit card on Uphold and then cash at ATMs, peer-to-peer. You got anything else to say?
Yeah, that's all. There's a bunch of different ways. Exchanges, peer-to-peer, ATMs, whole bunch.
There we go. Let's see. Walt V, what's going on? Walt V said, thanks for being black and in crypto. I love seeing everybody getting it. Keep it up, guys. Great videos. Thank you. Thank you. Notes from Juice said, you can hold it plus still use it. It equals winning. There we go. Said Gator said, send some lugs. Oh, they're not done with that. I'm not done with that either.
You gotta get me to switch. No better.
There we go. All right. Other than that, that is the show for today. Do you have anything else, Bitcoin Zay?
Talk Shop Live, 6 p.m. Sunday. Make sure you join.
Yes. Join the Talk Shop. Make sure you bring plenty of questions. You all ask us these questions during the week. I'm seeing people talk about Theta. I see people talk about Celsius. Someone asked us about the Terra network a week ago. So again, we get all the questions. We do the homework for you. So make sure you come in on Sunday and ask those live so we can give you that feedback. Thank you. We'll end on this from Helen Diva Style. Thank you for the tip. Another great morning. Thank you, King and Zay. Make sure you all smash that. Oh man, that North Carolina came out that quick. Make sure y'all smash that like and share. And I'll see you all tomorrow, Monday through Friday at 10ish. Cheers.
Cheers.